Hey guys, it's Danny, and today I am going to be talking about my Jeffree Star palettes that did not make it to my favorite Jeffree Star palettes video or my least favorite Jeffree Star palettes video. These are all the ones that are left that are in the middle that I, like, but don't love enough for them to be favorites, but also don't dislike enough for them to be in my least favorites video. I like all of my palettes, even the ones that were in my dislike video. Just the only reason they were really in that video was because I don't use them a lot, or because I only got the palette for 5 or 6 shades because it was more cost effective than buying the singles. Anyway, so these are not in any particular order. I just have them stacked here and I'm just going to go through the pile. I will be having another video shortly where I'm actually going to show all of my Jeffree Star palettes in one video, all 15 of them, and they're going to be they're actually going to be in an order ranked from most top favorite to least favorite. And in this one and on all the other videos, they are not in any particular order. First on the pile, we have the Conspiracy palette. This is from the Shane Dawson collab, and I like the packaging. I think it's cool. It makes it a little hard to store. I like the packaging, but also sometimes I wish it was flat. But this is the inside. I absolutely love the color story, especially the top row. This top row right here is beautiful. This bottom row is really nice. There's a handful of colors, like 4 or 5 colors in here that I think are kind of weird, that I don't really get why they are in here. Kind of like, what's the tea? I don't really use Not a Fact. I think food videos is a little bit weird, but it is a cool color. I like. But overall, this is a really great palette, and I like the color story. Like I said, this top row is my favorite. Next up, we have got the Blood Money palette. This one, I love the packaging on this one. I like how this is metal. I love how this looks like alligator skin. This little clasp is really neat. Boop. Here is the inside of this one. This one is so pretty. I love the greens. I love the browns. It's really nice. I don't reach for this one as much. I really should though. I should reach for this one a little bit more. It's because although I really like the look of the greens, I don't use green as much as I really actually kind of want to, because I love brown and green together. I like the color story with the browns and the greens, and I like browns and greens together. I really should play with this more and really try to get some really cool looks out of it. Next up is Jawbreaker. Now, as you guys know, with Jawbreaker, when it first came out, and then I've mentioned before, that I always told myself I was never going to own Jawbreaker. I was never going to buy Jawbreaker because it is a rainbow palette, and I was like, I'm never going to use it. I have no use for it. I don't use a lot of color. Look how pretty that is though. Oh my gosh. And I got this in a mystery box, which is the only reason I have it, because if I wouldn't have got it in a mystery box, I would have never bought it. But I'm actually really happy that I got it in a mystery box, because the colors are freaking beautiful. And when I got this palette, I actually did, oh my gosh, I think I did 3 or 4 videos just on this palette, because I was experimenting with the color. My favorite look that I did was when I took this color right here, Bubblegum, and this color right here, Cotton Candy, and did a monochromatic kind of look with it with a matte and a shimmer, and it just looked really, really pretty, and I really, really liked it. I have played a little bit with this where I wasn't, like, where I didn't film videos on it. And like I said, this palette really surprised me, like I said. And it really did help me kind of play with color a little bit. And I need to experiment with it more, and I need to use it more and use other color, use other palettes and other colors as well. But it was really nice. Like, I'm glad that I ended up getting it, even if I don't use it very often. It's nice to have a nice little rainbow palette. And I think I mentioned in a video talking about this palette that I would, if I was like in charge of like the colors, or if I was to make my own version of this, it would be a little bit different. But overall, it's a really great palette. And if you like rainbows, like rainbow colors, and you want like more of a pastel type of vibe, this one is really good. Next up is Orgy. And Orgy is really good. This palette is huge. This palette is really big. It's his biggest palette. There's 30 shades in here, so it's a little bit more expensive. This one's like $62. I got this in a mystery box as well, actually. And it looks like this. And it is an all matte palette, which is a teeny bit of the reason why it wasn't on my in my favorites video. The mini Orgy palette was in my favorites video because I love the shimmers. I mean, it's all shimmers, but because I just love it so much. Part of the reason this is like not in my favorites video is because of it being all matte, even though I kind of also like that about it, but also because there's just so many colors. I feel this palette's a little bit too big almost. I feel like some of the colors, they don't necessarily repeat because they're different colors, like they are different shades, but I do kind of feel like we could have did with just having one of like the first row. Like, I really feel like between these two, we could have just picked one and just had one of them. You know what I mean? Like, I feel that we didn't quite need all of these shades. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he could have cut down the colors a little bit and made the palette a little smaller. Although, like I said, I really do like this palette. The brown, like all the different, like, neutral shades. I mean, you pretty much have almost any neutral shade you'd ever want. So, it is good. A really good palette, too. And like I said, I love his matte formula. It's really, really nice. It's always, with his mattes, it's always really, they're all really blendable. They're all really nice. There's not, yeah, for the most part, his mattes are just really, really great. And then last palette that I have currently that is in this list is the Pricked palette. And honestly, the only reason this palette is in this video is because it's new and I've only used it a little bit, and my feelings are still out on exactly how I feel about it. It looks like this. It is so pretty. I have filmed a couple videos with this, and it is really pretty. The colors are really gorgeous. The colors are really pretty. It's really fall. It's a very fall palette. It's very warm. I don't exactly love the packaging, which honestly, if anything is going to keep this one from being a favorite, it's going to be the packaging. Again, it's kind of big and bulky, kind of like what I said about the Bloodlust palette in my least favorite video. The packaging is kind of big and bulky. It's hard to store. This little strap, I like the little strap, but I also think the little strap is weird. Also on the inside, it has those little ribbons that keeps it to where you can only open it like that, and you can't open it more back like you can with the other, like you can with like Bloodlust and the other palettes. So that's kind of but at the same time, I still really like it. It's really pretty. I can see this one staying kind of in the middle of the pack. I don't see myself using this like all the time because I don't normally go so much for warm tones. I'm more of a cool tone neutrals kind of person, but this is good to have for when I want something warm toned, and it is really, really, really pretty. And again, the shadows are great. So yeah, this one does have a little bit of fallout compared to like other palettes, because other palettes of his that I've used in the past hasn't really had much fallout, but this one does have a little, it seems like it has a little bit more fallout, but that could just be, you know, different kind of pigments he uses and whatever. But yeah, so that is my whole list of, these are all the palettes that didn't make it into my favorites video or my least favorites video. And yeah, be on the lookout for my video where I actually rank them and give them actual, like a number and put them in order instead of just doing this, because my other videos weren't numbered. They weren't in any kind of order. So, alright, I'll talk to you later. Bye!